Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Christmas Eve at, I don't know, what is it, 11:30 in the morning. Got a parcel here from the good Tony Pincham, so we'll open it. There's the heating set up for this Christmas Eve. I'd had the big red heater going till just about 5 minutes ago. It's 29 out. Yes, I know I showed my address, so anybody who wants to give me a ration of shit about that, feel free to go ahead and do that. So there's a letter explaining what's in each one of these things. There's a second one that I haven't opened yet. He wants me to save that to last. But look at all this stuff. He's got stuff for Liz and Henry and me, and he's got some cards. Here's cards here and stuff. I'll have to open these things up and show you what they are. My word, look at all this stuff. And then there's some stuff from the Worksop Priory. And here's one from Ann and George, his sister and brother-in-law. They gave that to me when I was over there and said, don't open it till Christmas. Well, this is more or less Christmas, so we'll open that too. Here's the present from Ann and George, 1 Minute Prayers for Men. Very nice book. Very well made, very well laid out. Thank you so much, Ann and George. Well, there's a beer mat from the Durham Brewery, which they made some good local beer that was wonderful. We had some of that. I think we had it at the Bell's Fish and Chips place, but you could buy like 3 packs of it at the store on the street on the way up to the cathedral, and then some of these beer coasters. I'll have to give a couple of those to Thomas. Tony's little card taped to the outside of this package said this will explain a lot. And it looks like it may be a car repair thing, but you've got things like an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman try to assemble an engine, then give up and walk into a pub. Now here's something, these Penguin Classics, The Age of Bede. This actually contains, translated out of probably the Old English or Old Anglo-Saxon, several writings. It says, Life of Cuthbert, Lives of the Abbots of Wearmouth and Jarrow, Edius's Life of Wilfrid, and The Voyage of St. Brendan. So that is going to be tremendous fun to read. Absolutely. Yep. Oh, and there's Mary Lanza on CD. A Cathedrals and Abbeys calendar. For example, that's Bath Abbey, which I've been there. I'll tell you, it is sublime. I would argue that it's probably one of the prettiest church buildings in England. Have to rank up in the top 3 easily. There's St. Albans. I've been there once. Actually, I was there with my mother. Malmesbury Abbey, I've not been there. Worcester Cathedral, yes, I've been there. Tewkesbury Abbey, drove past it, didn't stop like a fool. Fountains Abbey, yes, I've been there. Absolutely fantastic experience. Plan to set aside a whole day if you go. St. Edmundsbury Cathedral, Suffolk. I think that's in Bury St. Edmunds. If it is, I've been there too. It certainly looks like it. They have all these roses around that. I remember they have a huge-ass rose garden around that place. Liverpool Cathedral. I've not been there. I should go. Jedburgh Abbey, just there this last trip. Jedburgh, rather. Beautiful. Beautiful ruins. Norwich Cathedral, I've been there a couple of times. I'd like to go back, but haven't gotten around to going back yet. Canterbury, yes, been there, yes. Trivia on the Bog. Top trivia for toilet times. Such as, let's see here. Hair is made from the same substance as fingernails. Well, we know that. Oh, they're talking about, okay, let's find something I don't really know here. It said Colgate toothpaste first came in a jar. And here's a glass from the Durham Brewery. Very nice, very nice. Came in this box here, fairly substantial box. Yeah. And a series of very nice cards. This is from Tony's niece, Ann's daughter, Wendy, and her partner, Stacey. That was nice. And then this is from his sister and brother-in-law, Ann and George, or Ann and Gerry. Gerry, I guess, he goes by both. He answers to both. And then here is one from Tony. That's very three-dimensional there. And very nice little message that he wrote to me. And so that's very, very splendid. And so now I'll open up the package number 2. But before we open the second package, here's a card from, it's from Lexi Ann, Tony's new great niece, Wendy and Stacey's daughter, Ann's and Gerry's granddaughter. So, very nice, very nice. Waiting up for Santa Claus. This bad boy was heavy. That kind of was getting close to my weight limit while this stuff's healing on me. So here is the gift from Lexi Ann. A series of pictures that they took, I think, well, Tony took these, I think, when we visited there in August. Was it August? No, why am I keep saying in August? It was in September and October. And they're holding Lexi Ann there. Got my eyes a bit shut on that one, but that's okay. Yeah, she's a nice baby. Nice baby. And then from Ann and Gerry, A Grim Almanac of South Yorkshire by Kevin Turton. I'll tell you, they've certainly figured out that I like history of all varieties. Yep. Yep, they've got me pegged, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Ann and Gerry, on this. Murder, Dark Deeds, and Macabre Events from South Yorkshire's past. I love this kind of stuff. Thank you so much. And from Tony we have the Book of Common Prayer, a biography. This is great because, one, I've read a tremendous amount of about the Book of Common Prayer. Two, I've read every version of the Book of Common Prayer produced from 1549 all the way up to 1662, and I've just read a tremendous amount about it. So I mean, I love this kind of stuff, and you always get a slightly different take. on stuff from everything you read, and he references the Brian Cummings Book of Common Prayer, the text of 49, 59, and 1662. Now, I have a different book that includes all of the prayer books, and it was written by it's a female author / editor, and I can't recall the name offhand. I'm not going to go in the front room and dig it out, although I know exactly where it is. But he was referring to Dermot McCullough's Thomas Cranmer, A Life. I have that. I've read that. It's great. And the other is the Oxford Guide to the Book of Common Prayer, a worldwide survey. I don't have that, but the church has it, and I've looked at it numerous times. So this is great. Many, 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 many thanks. Again, I love this kind of stuff. I really do. And lastly, from Tony, the book called Common Worship, which is what a lot of the services in the Church of England now are out of this book, rather than the 1662 prayer book. And it's some of the stuff's identical to what's in our prayer book over here. It's a good functional, prayer book in modern language, which means, of course, that a lot of the beautiful language of the Book of Common Prayer is gone, but it's certainly a tad more accessible to most people. I don't think theologically there's any real difference in what's expressed. The communion service is a bit different than the 1662 book, but almost identical to the one we use. Our revised Rite II, the 1979 book in the U.S. So thank you very much, because we did use it. I mean, every time we went to one of the cathedral services, we used it. As I recall, there's only one parish church in England that routinely uses the 1662 Book of Common Prayer. It was over on the Pilgrim's Way, where we saw the church where William Bradford worshiped before he migrated across the Atlantic to Plymouth Colony. Not Plymouth Colony, but Massachusetts Bay Colony. Yeah, thank you. Great. So many thanks, Tony and Ann and Gerry and Stacey and Wendy and Stacey and the good Lexi Ann, and thank you. I mean, who doesn't like a good read on the toilet, in the bed, in the church? And a calendar with lots of cathedral pictures. Actually, I don't have a 2018 calendar yet. I need to remember to, when I finally get over to Staples again, I need to buy one of those big sort of $6 wall things that you see sometimes hanging on my wall over there. Completely unexpected and massively appreciated. Yeah, I do like history. All kinds. Yeah, thanks. What more can I say? Thanks. I mean, it's great, and I'm continually amazed by the kindness of people. I really am. And along those same lines, I want to thank the various people who have been listening to my little hernia saga, including, your channel is getting successful when you have your very own troll. Your very own troll that gives you thumbs down. He pointed out that I don't have any junk on yesterday's video. Well, actually, I didn't show you my junk. I showed you just above my junk. And yes, with all the edema, it's very hard to see what junk that is there, is there. Yeah, is there, is there. So thanks for pointing that out, dude. I really appreciate that. How very kind of you during this festive season. So I blocked him, of course, but that's okay. He had his say, fine. Okay, I'll splice these bad boys together and stick it up, and then later on probably, it's like Sunday afternoon, so it's like time for Tony Pincham and I to talk around 3 o'clock Eastern time. And so there it is. So I wish you all a good Christmas Day, Although I know a lot of people are probably doing their Christmas here on Sunday, Christmas Eve. A lot of families do that anyway. I think Thomas and Kelly are doing some of that somewhere today. I think when they were Kelly's folks. I think Mr. Williams is cooking a turkey or something. Okay, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers, and thanks for everything, for all concerned. Thank you. All right. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.